Welcome back. Turning to the 2024 campaign trail, armed with a little bit of momentum in the polls and some new financial backers, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley's campaign is out with its first ad of the primary. Take a look.
A president must have moral clarity and know the difference between good and evil. It's time for a new generation of conservative leadership. We have to leave behind the chaos and drama of the past and strengthen our country, our pride, and our purpose.
Joining me now is Marianna Sotomayor, congressional reporter for The Washington Post, former New York Democratic Congressman Joe Crowley, and Republican strategist Matt Gorman. Thanks so much to all of you for being here. Really appreciate it. So, Marianna, let me start with you. You see that ad there from Nikki Haley. She is gaining momentum, but we ask this question every time we have one of these conversations. Can she overtake Trump, or is this still a race for second place?
It's still a race for second place. I mean, look at how much time that these other candidates have been on the ground in Iowa. Trump hasn't needed to do that, and he's still winning so much. He just has this base that you absolutely can't penetrate in any way. And, it's been interesting to see her rise. It's been interesting to see that there are Republican voters who are looking elsewhere, who like what she's saying, but it very much still is just second place between her and DeSantis.
When you look at the polls, it really is staggering. Matt Gorman, you obviously are coming off of having worked for Tim Scott's campaign. You experienced part of what Marianna is detailing firsthand. Is there, based on your experience, based on what you saw out there on the campaign trail, a way to break the Trump base away from him?
There was a chunk of people, I think, that are open to being wooed, right? DeSantis, if you look about 10 months ago, he was within 10 points of Trump, right? He was leading in New Hampshire. I think it's somewhat of an unhappy marriage between the base and Trump for a lot of them, but no one has stepped up and kind of gotten their stuff together and said that's who we can get behind, especially now with DeSantis and Nikki essentially locked it even both in Iowa and also nationally. The debates where Nikki has gotten this momentum is that one point where people can kind of use this as a focal point, and that's been the one driver of momentum. Day to day, you don't see that as much. The coverage doesn't break through.
Joe, what do you think? And again, there's another debate before the Iowa caucuses, so she could presumably get a little bit more momentum. What if people started to drop out? What if some of the other candidates started to drop out? Could that make a difference? Or would they just go to Trump?
Yeah, I think it certainly could make a difference. It's a question of how big a difference it could make. I think, she said she's not running for second place. If you're not running for second place, you got to go after the big guy.
She didn't mention him in the ad.
You have to go after him. There's no way you can really get voters from him unless you go after him. That's the only way anyone can. So as far as I'm concerned, yes, she's still running for second place.
Matt, what do you make of that? I mean, we didn't even hear her mention Trump in that ad.
It's tough because the best and most effective argument I heard out there, but you also see it in polling, is electability. Now, you've seen a consistent drumbeat of patterns where Trump is actually beating Biden in the polls. So that electability argument, if you're Nikki or Ron, is a lot harder to make than it was a month ago. You can't go head on, say, January 6th or something like that. It just doesn't work the same way. Electability, we'll see if it helps in being a month or two. Right now, it's a hard argument to make.
It's a great point. Speaking of the current president, one of his biggest challenges, obviously, questions about his age. The vice president was asked about this and made some of her most extensive comments yet. Let's take a look and we'll get your reaction on the other side.
Is a vote for Biden a vote for President Harris?
A vote for President Biden is a vote for President Biden and Vice President Harris. I would say that age is more than a chronological fact. I spent a whole lot of time with our president, be it in the Oval Office or the Situation Room and in other places. And I can tell you, as I just mentioned, not only is he absolutely authoritative in rooms around the globe, but in the Oval Office, meeting with members of Congress.
And that was, of course, at the Deal Book Summit with our Andrew Ross Sorkin. Marianna, what do you make of her answer? And it was a great question. Is a vote for President Biden a vote for President Harris?
Yeah, no, it's one that voters are absolutely thinking about. I mean, it's interesting to see not just her, but also other Biden circuits just being open about it. Before, we would hear Biden often say, just watch me how I do, essentially. The campaign and the White House trying to skirt those questions, not make it the focus. But it is top of mind, and now we've seen, Dean Phillips, other Democrats trying to draw that generational difference in age. So, her comments are, it's a little bit of what else is she going to say? But the fact that they're not trying to brush it off, being a little bit more forthcoming about it, is good. They need to be addressing that issue.
And it's definitely a notable shift. Joe, one of the other notable shifts that we are tracking is the way in which the president is talking about the economy. New economic data out, which shows inflation is getting better yet again, but voters continue to say they don't feel it. And so we're actually, our reporting and our White House team is reporting that they are noticing President Biden actually using the term Bidenomics less when he's out on the trail. He was in Colorado yesterday, for example. Is that smart? Should he peel back the Bidenomics?
I think absolutely. Look, you have a year to go before the election day itself, the real poll that matters. There's a lot of time here to adjust your messaging. And right now, we've seen that wasn't polling right. People weren't feeling the effects of Bidenomics. So, yeah, it's an opportunity to change that messaging. And it's also, I think, important to note that Democrats, as I've been saying over and over again, own Joe Biden, because Joe Biden's going to be our candidate. Stop speaking ill will of him. It was the old Reagan, don't speak ill will of fellow Republicans. Democrats have to stop that as well. And I think you'll see Biden's numbers go up when Democrats stop questioning his age or his abilities. And I think that's a real big factor.
Matt, take us inside conversations in Republican circles. What are they saying about the economy as an issue, as inflation, for example, does start to go down? Do they continue to see this as a weakness, or are some saying, hey, in another 6 months, this might not be as potent as it is today?
I think you hit it on the head, though. It has gone from Clinton's I feel your pain to Biden's your pain isn't real, right? And I think in a lot of respects, if people still aren't feeling it, no matter what the data says, right or wrong, you can't convince them of something they feel and they know firsthand. I was talking to a Democrat the other day who worked for Clinton and Obama, and he says this is a common sentiment among presidents. They say if only people knew how great I was doing, they knew my accomplishments, I'd win 50 states, right? So I think you cannot just talk about your accomplishments. You need to show them. So as long as people don't feel it, Republicans are going to press that advantage.
The other thing the president started to talk about is Obamacare, with former President Trump saying if he's reelected, he's going to try to get rid of it. He tried to do that in his first term. He didn't do it, Marianna.
Yeah, let's remember in 2018, of course, Trump was in office. He was president. But the fact that Democrats are running on not just, hey, Trump is president, but they're going to come after your health care. We saw what happened with the House.
It will take that fight.
Oh, exactly.
We had the battle scars.
Exactly.
A lot of battle scars.
Yeah. It was a tough year for me in 2018, but that was a good aspect of that year.
Yes.
All right. Well, we will see what happens. Thank you for a great conversation. Really appreciate it. Marianna, Joe, and Matt, great stuff.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.